Hello everyone, welcome back to some Miami University Overwatch. We are here today for the first round of qualifiers for Queen City Clash for the University of Cincinnati. This is a land we usually take part of every single fall. Very, very exciting land for all of us. It is one our team takes quite seriously and is hoping to get pretty far today. We are up against Georgia Tech today. I'm Xander Lewis.
I'm Alex Marcum.
And as I said, we are up against Georgia Tech Esports today. I believe it's Georgia Tech Gold to be exact, their Gold team. And they are a team we've only faced, I believe, once before since I've been here, and that was at the Mizzou LAN last spring, which that was an interesting LAN. Didn't get to go to that one, unfortunately, but our team did put up an all-right record, I do believe. And on the note of their team today, they are running Genisub, Cashier, SCL33, Hayden, RHN, Sir Technical, Rogomores, Ulster, and Killswitch, which that is the squad for Georgia Tech. And on our team for Miami, we of course have Pooter Scooter, Nitrous Oxide, Alfonso, On, and Sire, the standard squad we have going today. And what other things do we have this week?
Well, tomorrow we have versus Akron in ESC, and then I believe EMA on Thursday, right?
EMU,
I
do believe.
You're in on Thursday for ESC. On Friday we have a Valorant stream we do have a Valorant stream on Friday, right?
Yes, I do believe that.
We have a Valorant stream on Friday, and then this weekend we have a community event for Overwatch that will be streamed on Sunday.
Miami's greatest Overwatch, which is run by our very own Trae Linkling, who is someone who is very, very busy usually around our esports base, doing both club and varsity stuff. So that'll be fun. We will be hoping to stream that on, I believe, Saturday and Sunday. And there's going to be individual streams from different players on Saturday. So be on the lookout for that. We will be posting about that, I do believe, on the weekend. But other than that, this is Swiss bracket, so we do not know who our second match is tonight. We will have another matchup at 9 p.m. against a team of the same record as us, as is usual per Swiss bracket. We will see who that is later on. That's the annoying part of a lot of Swiss competitions, is we don't really know who we're facing until about 10 minutes before the start time, which will be a little bit unfortunate. But our match today did get moved a little bit ahead. Usually we should have started at 8, but today we started at 7. I believe that was because of Georgia Tech wanting to push things forward a little bit, because they also had a little bit of a conflict. So we started a little bit earlier today, but it still should be a good match. I do expect pretty much the same comps we've been saying.
Yeah, a lot of Orisa, a lot of JQ. Maybe we'll see Doom not be locked to the touch bot, but that's a far cry for hope. Definitely a lot of Wooyon Kiri. Definitely strong backline, lots of damage, surprising amount of healing from those two, and DPS surprisingly might be one of the most diverse roles right now.
I do agree on that. The fact that Reaper is actually not a bad pick is making me quite joyous, especially playing normally, because usually Reaper is such a slow, like not fast moving target where they don't have a lot of like mobility and they get caught off really easily by a lot of hit scans. But currently we are in this meta of double flex, so we'll see what both teams decide to run. Zarya is still heavy metal. We'll probably be seeing some of that come out. Luckily, Poodle Scooter has been practicing it a lot, so we'll see what our team decides to do. But we'll be going on a little bit of a break here because the teams are taking a little bit longer to get into lobbies. So we'll see you in a few moments. And we are back, and we have our map for the first round of this series. It will be Ilios, and we have banned Wrecking Ball, while Georgia Tech has banned Farah. Very interesting bans from both teams, I will say.
Yeah. Wrecking Ball, a little bit more expected than Farah of all characters, as he's pretty good on Ilios. Maybe not as great in this meta with tanks like Zarya and Orisa being so dominant right now. The Farah ban is a bit weird, in my opinion. Not usually the best character, but could be more or seen more as a counter ban if Georgia Tech is planning on playing Reaper today, which could be very possible.
Or if they want to play Farah in a different match, we'll see.
Yeah.
But we will be going in the game here in a few moments. But on another note, this is best of 3 once again. QCC first round. I believe 6 qualifying matches. I believe we do 3 weeks every Tuesday, so we'll be doing more QC next Tuesday as well. So we will see how far we get into that. I do believe you have to be in top 8, I believe, of total teams in QCC qualifiers to get to the LAN in University of Cincinnati, which is, I think, that's about a 40 to 50 minute drive from here.
Give or take.
Probably an hour around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going on to Ilios, we'll probably be definitely seeing the Lucio if I had to guess, considering Ilios is probably the most fan favorite Lucio map to date. And on another note, we do have already the first map of next series. You'll think about that. It will be Lijiang Tower, and it will be for every map going forward. It'll be a different control point. They're going through, I think, all 6, I believe, for each separate one. So we will not be seeing Ilios again, most likely, unless we have some weird. It's best of 3. We won't have a tiebreaker. Never mind. We will be probably not seeing Ilios again at all the rest of the series. Unless we somehow hit a draw on second and they win third. We'll see.
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite maps, personally. I think slowly Lijiang has been trying to inch out over Ilios, but you can't beat the well, man. Yeah. So fun.
Especially with Roadhog being meta and comp right now. It is hellish trying to do anything on well when it's a permaban on Ilios most times. And if they ban Ana and you ban Hog, you're just like, okay, well, there goes their plan out the window. Yeah, so we'll see what both teams decide to do. Probably will be seeing some of the Hog, if I had to guess, considering that has been in Pooter's back pocket for a while and it's just such a strong character after they buffed his headshot critical for 1.5 to 2, and now you can one-shot 300 health heroes.
Oh,
So we do not know if Georgia Tech has a very good Ana player, but we do have Nitrous Oxide, who is our dedicated Ana player. Quite ridiculous on him. And then also something else that confused me with the Pharah ban. If they do want to play Pharah, we have Sire on the hit scan, which doesn't make sense to my brain. But we'll see if they decide to keep doing Pharah. I don't know how long we're going to be taking here to get into match. They may be taking some technical difficulties. But I guess there's not really much to talk about besides just getting into the game.
yeah. We'll be going in now.
Perfect timing.
What a lovely map. Not my favorite point of Ilios, but Ruins. Definitely fun to see the rush comps come out. We are seeing Zarya coming out from Pooter. I do expect a mirror from Georgia Tech, or at least the rollout on either Orisa or Hazard, depending on how their DPS line goes, right?
I will say this DPS line isn't looking too favorable for Sire, considering it's Genji Tracer inside of Georgia Tech. They're definitely going for a more hot dive heavy comp.
Yeah, a lot of damage, a whole lot of damage coming in from Georgia Tech, so Miami may have to be a bit careful, especially squishier characters. But with Reaper, Zarya, and Lucio, Georgia Tech is going to have to be a little bit scared of how dangerous Miami is up close.
Pooter not trying to take this right side angle, gets pressure on it out. Both teams have kind of switched their positioning on the side of the point. It's kind of been a floating around of who's attacking from which angle.
Oh my.
And a wonderful combo there from Kill Switch and Red Moors. Hitting Zyre with a double tap and just melting down. On getting put down by All-Star, and unfortunately Exosocket falls down from Georgia Tech. Miami University probably going to get some switches here to counter this high dive meta comp from Georgia Tech. And this, as we see, it's already happening now. Cyrus switching onto the McCree. And yep, Hooter on to the Orisa. And we do have a pause for something might have happened.
Oh, they're on open QHP, so tanks have a lot less HP right now.
Yeah, that would have been really bad if we just kept with that, because I could have changed a lot.
Yeah,
considering that Orisa's lower HP is about 250 lower, and yeah, that's probably why we saw Pooter get melted down so quickly in Zarya, because that was something else. So the HP passive for the tanks was off, which that causes a whole new slew of issues, because then they're just basically bigger DPS at that point. Yeah, not having that increased HP is not the best for tanks, considering, especially on Zarya, who uses shield so much, and I believe their reduce is like 375 from 500.
Yeah.
Or like 475. Hazard does have armor, so it's a little less worse from him. But that is good that they caught that early. However, I do not know if they will want to restart the game or keep going with it. It wasn't that far into it. They may incline just to go with it, because I mean it was the first fight. Nothing's really happened. It's probably 8% and 10%. So we are on a little bit of a tech break here. We will get back to you when we get the tech fixed. It should be here in a few more minutes. We might just start talking randomly. I will say that Sire switching on to McCree is probably the best bet for him there.
Yeah, Cassidy is one heck of a character to try to play Hazard into. That hinder nade, such a problem when your game plan is go in, survive as long as you can while doing as much damage, and then booking it out, right? Also, kind of a problem in general for the dive, right? They had Tracer, Genji. You hinder those two. Where are they going, right? To my knowledge, Tracer loses access to both recall and her blinks, so she just a little guy with 175 HP. What are you going to do when the Cassidy just bang, bang, you're gone?
Yeah, double
right? Genji is in a similar case, but a little bit better because he still keeps Deflect active. But losing Swift Strike is a good chunk of his burst damage.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, stay on the Reaper is a very interesting choice to me. It probably will help because bursting down kill switch is a priority when you're going to comps with Hazard like this, it's kind of what you need to do. A lot of the frontal pressure is Hazard. Hazard falling is pretty much all the front line for Georgia Tech is just gone comparatively to Miami, who do have a very strong front line with Arissa, Reaper, and McCree. So we will see what Georgia Tech decides to do, and we'll see if the switches will help Miami out on the front line. They do have to take care because now with their front line so solidified like this, unlike having a Sire on the Sojourn, having her on the McCree is a lot better for the front line. So they have to be a little bit more careful and watch for the dives onto Nitrous Oxide or Alfonso. And we are going back in the game right about now. And we do have that problem fixed. And we did decide to just restart the match real quick. They did realize it was only like a little bit percentage. So they're just like, we'll reset it. Good faith. Good for both teams. Just get a reset going.
We are seeing both teams do the run back of their comps with a slight difference for Georgia Tech, which seem to be running the Widow and the Baptiste to start. Definitely interesting swaps because of how good they were doing in that first thing, that first fight. We'll see if that's so unfortunate, Booter. It happens to the best of us.
Right click jump to get there.
Yeah. We'll be seeing some pot shots coming in from Genetic SEC. Genetic, yeah. We'll be seeing some pot shots coming in from Genetic. Definitely a lot more pressure on and Sire because of them from the Genji. A lot harder to deal with. We already see Sire going down in a similar situation, getting absolutely dumpstered by Tracer and Hazard on that first dive. I am kind of expecting the swap to Cassidy and Marissa coming back in from Miami.
In all honesty, it wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah, Georgia Tech did decide to, I don't know why he decided to go to send there for a second, but it is a precarious situation Miami is in right now. Or do they want to play like a little bit of a dive like they're doing and just be at the middle after both backlines are dead? Or do they want to do just a whole like very strong death ball where anytime they do just go in, the front line of Georgia Tech can't kill them at all. That is what they're trying to do here, I think, with the Arissa. It does help that Booter is just so bulky. Cannot get up that wall, though. Sire really has to play his life here. I'm trying to deal with this Widow. Using Wraith a little too early, I think. And does Miami just get a free cap here? They just get a free cap. A lot of... Oh, 1 second off there. That's very unfortunate from... It does come out from Miami. They're already 2 down though, and Nitrous Oxide falls well. Sire does get 1 on All-Star. We're just going to try to get as much cap as possible here. Maybe get the pick, but unfortunately falls to Genetic.
Yeah. These first 2 fights have been a little bit choppy. Very difficult to keep track of, especially with how many little groups are running around. Like we see a Tracer Hazard doing their own thing. We got, for Georgia Tech at least, the Kiri and Wu Young playing with each other mostly just to get so much poking damage onto people like Sire, Booter Scooter, and oh, what an absolutely amazing ult cancel from Booter Scooter, absolutely dumpstering the Wu Young. We do hear the Hazard ult coming out in the back line. Doesn't seem like it's getting too much value right now, but we do lose Sire. However, having a pretty bad game with this Hazard right now.
Kill switch did fall a little bit low there, unfortunately goes down. Kill switch is doing so well, using the ult, keeping her away from him while picking up the rest of Miami. On switching on the Tracer is not a bad pick, all things considered. I do think maybe he wanted to try and go for the Genji, in my opinion, just get a little bit more frontal pressure. And this Tracer is going to cause them to just force a 1v1 repeatedly. Sire also probably not, unfortunately, kind of has to stay on Sojourn because that Widow puts so much pressure on him. And on McCree, Sojourn can at least fight a Widow. McCree can't do anything at all, really. Utsur does go onto the Hazard as well. Kiswood is finding 2 on the side there. It's so bad, and the first round goes to Georgia Tech. They didn't really have any big fights there for the side of Miami. Georgia Tech was just kind of playing in positions that was a lot harder for Miami to do anything.
Yeah, with the amount of angles Georgia Tech was taking, it was super difficult for Miami to just find something and pounce, right? Because in previous games, we've seen Booter Scooter on and maybe Alfonso, depending on which character he's on, just jumping one person that, or 1 or 2 people that seem to be in just a slightly too bad position, right? But with Georgia Tech, they have characters like Hazard, Tracer, Kiri, Wuyong, these guys don't die that quickly, and they do a lot of damage, right? It's incredibly difficult for Miami to get a foothold on one of these little groups.
Usually is going out to Diva. It's a switch I do like. However, Genetic is just staying on the Symmetra here. Once seeing that, I think they just want to go with the Symmetra here because Lighthouse is generically a good map for Symmetra. And this map I do believe is a little more favorable for for Miami because they're able to just play his Death Ball so much easier because it's so much more enclosed. Not as many open sight lines. And however, Bitlot Death Ball is already on point. Oh, beautiful stun there. They really have to get that hazard down, getting him that low. Kind of on a goose chase, but Alfonso falls the kill switch, but he does get Genetic. That's a very good pick on the point. Oh, we were finding the Fury in a little bit of a bad position. Sire does fall though. We're getting DMAC as well. I think it's probably going to be a fight before going to Georgia Tech. No one has capped the point yet though, so they will get probably another fight going.
There we go, nice. He's popping up. He got the back line. Oh, look at him go. This actually could be huge for Miami. They might be able to get the point off of those two kills, especially since Miami's going to have their team coming back way earlier. And Sire already getting picked on All-Star. The kill switch being separated from the rest of the team, or the rest of them still here. And the rest of Georgia Tech kind of just hanging out. It'd be really bad for them if they stay here for that long, and this Symmetra looks a little bit out of place. But they will fall back, getting ready for the next fight. What a great recap.
That was a very good there from Nitrous Oxide, not just for getting those two picks, but hitting that Suzu on Alfonso when he was caught off a little bit off point. Not what she can do. On putting some great pressure here. Dodging that wall just barely, very good there. Using a lot of that pressure as Reaper to force kill switch into position he does not enjoy. Pin rush does come out. They do want to win this very quickly. Nitrous Oxide down is an off angle. We do have the high noon up. It does force them all to retreat, but very unfortunate there from Hayden, falling right in, teleporting right into the front of the high noon, and being able to both supports just like that. That's a lost fight for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Sire's been having some amazing high noons this season, right? Like it feels like almost every single one of them has been a fight win, whether it's been forcing the other teams off of container rushes.
And that does come a lot from the setup from Nitrous Oxide's container rush. Allowing that speed, allowing him to get around corners is so good. Oh, very unfortunate there from Miami. Using the Diva bomb like that and getting melted immediately. That was a lot of ults from Georgia Tech though. You see that was 3 from all their line, and Miami University is coming up on Blossom, which isn't that good as a big team pull ult anymore, but it does help a lot with getting those 1 or 2 targets, and we do have Beat coming up very quickly.
Yeah, definitely going to be advantaged, or Miami's going to be at a pretty big advantage this upcoming fight, but they do have to play a little bit careful just to make sure they don't lose like Sire, unfortunately, going down to Hazard, or on. We do see the Death Blossom coming out. Buddha getting Hayden. So much coming out Miami. Having them being able to cap this point. Close game so far, but these fights have been very swingy. Get him, Alfonso. You got this.
He decides to back off because he realized that 2 DPS, 4 did respawn there. And he didn't want to really take that considering how good they are playing. So he decided to back off and stay live, plays live, which is a lot better than what we thought considering. Oh, beautiful!
Oh, that was such a great kill from Booter.
That is the type of thing you see from that new deep perk. That R allows the perk that burst down so heavily. On is a little bit trapped between the couch and the wall. He has to get out of there. You just said this is still a point because they are close. Beautiful headshot there from Sire. Getting Genetic like that is so nice. The Tracer is on the best. All-Star is on the back line. They really need to play safe here because they do still have a retouch. Or in fact, they have a lot of fast-paced characters. The Tracer does go for the touch. On is just going forward. They're trying to get this Hilo, put pressure on him, and they do manage to get Hayden. Wow, this perk from Diva is allowing Pryor to do so much damage because he has such great aim already as a tank player. Being Orisa, he's able to just like laser down targets like we saw on the Curie. That's twice now he's done that to the Curie, and they do win second point. That the Diva switch definitely helped a lot, and also playing on a map that's a lot more favorable to their top type of places.
Yeah, Georgia Tech seems to be much more of a dive-focused team than what Miami's used to. We usually see brawl versus brawl, and Miami just absolutely dumpsters most other teams. They're so coordinated in these game-to-game fight, or like team-to-team fights right now, with all the team play from Pooter Scooter on and Alfonso a lot. These guys know how to know what each other wants, so they just go in and do everything they need, right? But with these closer range maps, Jordyn Tech is struggling to get the angles that they need to properly pressure people like Sire on and Nitrous Oxide away from the angles that they're taking.
And this Genetic is going to be on that Symmetra again, and we do have All-Star still in the Tracer. I will say Pooter going to D.Va onto Kill Switch is a very good pick in my opinion. Oh, good shots there from Hayden. Picking off Sire, that's very bad for Miami. That's a lot of pressure gone from the Tracer. The Tracer sees that and does just go in on to the back line. But Pooter does see a little bit of an angle there. Tries to get a Hayden, but it doesn't pay off. He will be going down. On probably just trying to build up some all charge. It would probably be best for him to jump off the map. Yeah, All Stars getting the health back right before on. Very unfortunate, but it was just going to be a jump off the map.
Big reset from a big attempted reset. Miami really struggled a little bit in that first fight. Getting separated that early on, oh, that's so unfortunate for Nitrous Oxide going down to Wu Yang and Alistar grabbing Sire as a little running pick. But we do see Alfonso get All-Star, get the get back for Sire, right? We'll see how much this plays into this upcoming fight with All-Star coming in such a much longer area than Sire has to block, right?
I need to really get a pick here. It's very, very slow here from both teams. We really need to get the Symmetra off of Pooter. He's doing so much damage versus him down. It allows Kill Switch just to do a little bit of damage. There we go, on the Symmetra. Managing to find that pick. They just go into the back line. Pooter's very careful. He has very low health, and he does get knocked down in mech just like that. Very good flying teleport there from On. And they do have Hayden right there, low health. Just missed the shots, a few of them. It's really unfortunate there, and the Continuous does come out. That's deciding. Stock roll.
What a great roll from
Desire, but it's not enough. The roll did unfortunately go a little bit into Alfonso, dealing just enough damage for Kill Switch to jump in. Sire missing those shots on Hayden wasn't the best look there, unfortunately. Managing not to get, allowing the Consumers to come out and does so much for Jordyn Tech. They really need to regroup here and push this forward. Use these ults they have coming up to their advantage. Sire's gonna have to get something big here. I love On's play here, putting so much pressure, allowing them to get, just barely he does get out of it, but Pooter's getting trapped into a solo. Wing ult does come out. Pooter is so low, he needs to stay alive, but Hazard is just on their back line. There's nothing he can do. And then the wall out Symmetra and Cyrus put just onto the song we're trying to touch, but it's most likely isn't enough. Map 1 going to Jordyn Tech.
Yeah. Miami kind of fell apart that last map, but there were some good plays that we saw. Unfortunately, Kill Switch was such a problem on that Hazard. So much damage coming out from him onto Miami's backline, both back and in line, honestly. Really doing so much work for Jordyn Tech. It honestly felt like a one-man show between Pooter Scooter and Kill Switch, right?
And there's also not to mention that Gensect on that Symmetra is putting so much pressure on Pooter. They realized that that switch on the D.Va was putting so much work for Miami and doing very well bursting down Hayden on the Kirko, which was a lot of the focus of the backline for Georgia Tech and was helping Miami out immensely. And they go to Symmetra and they decided to say it like, okay, we'll keep the teleport as well. So they were getting back twice as fast than Miami on most times, and then also using Symmetra just to burst down Pooter. Like I will say Gensect wasn't even looking at anyone else usually on the side of Miami. He was only looking at Pooter and helped them out so much.
Yeah. We'll be going into game 2, I believe, soonish. I believe we're sticking to control, right? Going through the control maps, or are we going into?
We will be probably going. I think you believe it is just the pick of the losing team. So if I had to guess, if Miami wanted to do one of their strong suits, it can't be control. I do not believe, but it most likely will either be flashpoint, push, something along those lines that Miami is quite good at. Well, we probably all these things serve us of the series that is a map Miami usually likes to see. But once again, we will have new bans, and we will see what Miami decides to ban. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a hazard ban, most likely, considering how much work it put in for Georgia Tech. So we'll see what both teams decide to do. Miami here does have to make a little bit of a reverse sweep, considering this is best of 3, so they only have one more. They lose one more map. That's game series and set, and they'll be going 0-1 for the qualifying to start out with, which is not a very good thing. I know Miami does not want that at all. So we will be going on to a little bit of break here while they decide map pick and hero bans. So we will see you in a little bit. And we are back. Map 2 will be Kings Row, a map we are notoriously I won't say bad, but not our greatest map. But it is one that is quite good for Miami. When we did play it before, we did play it in the final of ESC last semester, and that was a very interesting and impressive match to watch from both sides. Georgia Tech, their ban was Zarya, and our ban was Wuyang, which I will say the Wuyang was putting in some work on the side of Georgia Tech, putting a lot of pressure on Sire, Nitrous Oxide in the back line, really curving those water orbs very well. And then us banning, or Georgia Tech banning the Zarya, isn't that bad when all things considered. Kings Row, there's usually only 4 to maybe 5 tanks that are ever viable, and Zarya is probably one of our better ones. However, the fact of the matter is, if they ban Zarya, I don't see a world where Pooter doesn't play Orisa.
Yeah, definitely one of his signature picks. Definitely a preferred pick, actually. I think the only reason why he learned Zarya was because of how bad the Orisa matchup is, and how good Zarya is right now. Right? If he had the choice between playing Orisa all day or counterpicking with Zarya, I think he'd pick Orisa, right? So tank wise, we are pretty much set. Good map for Orisa as well, right? Wuyang ban, I do like it. We do see Wuyang come out sometimes for Miami, especially more pokey maps. But we'll be heading to game.
Yeah, we are heading to game here shortly. I do believe. Maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see. We're probably having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah. I would like to see some Wuyang, right? But not in this game, right?
And we are in Miami University. Pooter. Pooter is on the Roadhog, which honestly isn't a bad character, but he does pick the Orisa, realizing he's able to just roll with that. And instead of seeing Gensect on the Widow, we have All-Star on the Widow, which, considering his aim on Tracer, that's not a bad pick at all. And Georgia Tech here, that is a very, very rough comp for Pooter to run into. I will say, double sniper. Sire's going to have a very rough time this game, dealing with both Hanzo and Widowmaker. Though, he'll be eating pretty. Yeah, to be completely honest. Zen, Hanzo, Widow, that's quite nice for Genji to be playing into.
Yeah. Another really poke-focused comp, or poke-focused backline. This Zen does have to be a bit careful with both Nitrous Oxide, Alfonso, and On being here. Very easy dive that can come down. We do see Georgia Tech taking a lot of space really early on. It's really good for them, but we do see On get onto the backline, going for the Widow, but they do get the Suzu. And oh wait, Nitrous Oxide coming in to help On with the dive, exactly what we were expecting earlier. There we go. Pooter dumpstering the front line while On and Nitrous Oxide take the back line.
Yeah, Gensect immediately switching onto that Symmetra and All-Star, going back to the Tracer, realizing that On will just be too much of a problem for him to deal with. Always watching his back repeatedly. Red Moors does stay on the Zen, considering Rigo Moors does stay on the Zen, considering Zen is such a good character into Orisa, all things considered. I remember back, I think it was 4 seasons ago, well, if you didn't have a Zen Kiri, or when you were playing these high tank brawl type fights, you just explode. Oh, nearly a beautiful spear boost, a little bit of position now. Pretty much all of Georgia Tech is now on the high ground. I just think there's a little bit of a flip of positioning here from both teams. Are we playing Los Angeles Gladiators? Hello? Yeah. What is this?
Well, it doesn't matter.
The great switcheroo?
Yeah, Nitrous Oxide, it doesn't matter for Miami, because Nitrous Oxide will just take out All-Star with a well-placed Fury behind. Do we see a wild Orisa on the low ground? We do, but Buddha Scooter does go down to Hayden, and unfortunately we have to walk away from our own consideration.
They will have a retouch though, which is very good for Miami. Nitrous Oxide cannot go down there. He needs to back up. Good deflect protection, but he will die because of it. And Sire Falls also, that may have been a little bit too over-aggressive there from Miami. But I do think they will get this secondary touch. If they can hold under the archway, that's probably one of the best chokeholds for Kings Row, in my opinion, being a tank player. Being able to hold someone there for such a long time, it's usually there in this little corner right here on the roundabout. So we'll see what they said do. And I will say, Georgia Tech a little slow on getting on the payload. A lot of hero hero shooter players kind of forgetting that the payload is the actual objective, not just shooting the enemy team.
Yeah. I mean, shooting the enemy team is always the fun part, right? We do see Terror Surge coming out from Kill Switch, but no one goes down to that yet. On does take too many shots from All-Star, but we do see an unfortunate lamp and ult combo to dumpster Booty Scooter in his own Terror Surge.
Yeah, that is the reason I think they decided to go with the BAP with the switch there. That using window can just melt through a Terror Surging Orisa. That amount of damage being put out just ruined Booty Scooter's day. They do have a recut shoot. They really need to get into at least a minute. They do not want this third point to have more than 4 minutes. That is a really rough time for a team. Sire is playing this really aggressive angle. Has to kill these mines though. Put less pressure off Booter. We do have Blade coming in.
We do see the investment of Blade and Kitsune Rush, but On's going for a little bit of a sneaky play. Putting away the Blade for now, favoring the Shurikens, getting ready to go dive onto the back line with Booty Scooter 1v1 against Zenyatta, and unfortunately, the Monk cannot handle Doomfist, or the robot specifically did not design to stop Doomfist, right? Believe it or not.
That was very good there. Good situational positioning from On, realizing his Blade with the trans up will get nothing, and also very good timing there from Miami, getting at least Hayden down, even though they popped trans, and they very good counter ult, but they do kite that just to be safe, because Overcharge can do a lot of damage. You'll probably be seeing the Overcharge here from Sire coming in soon. They all teleported on top of that little building, and the wall does come out. That's a pretty good counter there for Georgia Tech, but unfortunately, sorry, doing a little bit of mispositioning there, getting picked off very easily. We have another switch around of positionings for Miami. They got caught off the other angle, and unfortunately, Peter goes down because that Discord orb is just so oppressive, and it does seem that Georgia Tech will capture second point. This Symmetra wall is doing a lot to stop a lot of Sire's ult, no matter what character he's playing.
Yeah, what a surprisingly strong ult for how simple it is. Just a wall of a 9,000 HP shield going so far, so wide, stops so many things from Miami, especially if you know how to play around it, right? If you notice, we saw the entirety of Georgia Tech playing around the wall, and now we see them playing around the teleport. So good at playing with the Symmetra, even when it's not just a teleport bot. We do see Nitrous Oxide go down to All-Stars Railgun, putting Miami on the back foot for this third point. Unfortunately, Booty Scooter does go down. At this point, it is going to be a bit difficult for Ryan to get a foothold.
Honestly, this is very good for Georgia Tech, because getting this high ground and on kill switches to be up there at all times, and the window high ground, they're just going to get nuked, unfortunately. All pulled in right there, and unfortunately that's going to be ongoing down. Booty Scooter running out of his block, and that's going to be Georgia Tech probably capping with at least 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. That is very good showing from Georgia Tech there. They really turned it around. They didn't have the greatest start, but they figured out that just play Sem. It does seem to be kind of the thing that's causing Miami the most problems here, which is very surprising considering she's not that good of a character at this moment, but it is just putting enough pressure on Pooter and causing Georgia Tech to get into these high positions that they can't really reach on any of their characters. I maybe would have liked to see, instead of the hazard switch, maybe Winston, because Winston is such a good counter into that Symmetra, but he probably didn't want to play such a squishy character into a Orisa. Might have been burst down a little bit. We'll see what Miami decides to play here. I won't be surprised if they decide to go straight off with the Orisa at the start, maybe. So maybe get something figured out, but Gensec probably is going to just stay with that Symmetra because it's working so well. Sire on the Widow, trying to get a little bit of maybe of a pot shot. They have gone it before, so we'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah. Back to the poke, more poke-focused comps for Georgia Tech with Cass and Sigma swaps coming in from All-Star and Kill Switch. This comp seems to be pretty difficult for Miami to deal with, not even counting just them, right? Zenyatta and BAP being such a surprisingly high damage backline with Discord Orb and BAP's little weave in, weave out kind of style with his right click and left click, right? We do see double sniper coming out from Miami. See if they can win the poke war, or or they just take a couple pot shots and look for any picks they can.
A Ram pick, considering it Mercedes and he's not the best tank right now, but maybe it'll be enough frontal pressure to get the kill switch into a bad position. On is on the Genji because it works so well on this map, but we will see what both teams decide to play. We are playing a little bit on the right here for Miami. Jordyn Tech is controlling that high ground. You can see in that hotel, it's not a good idea to go in there considering how many bots are in there. Pretty much all of Jordyn Tech is just on high ground here. On is going to get shot in the back, and yeah, that's the unfortunate thread there. Playing Ram, you kind of just get melted down at points. On is a little bit caught out, a little stuck in hotel. Then just has to bomb, unfortunately runs into all the lines and then get a 10 shot. Yep.
That's so unfortunate. Well, rough first fight, but I do see the vision for Miami. It does look like they want to try and overwhelm kill switch with just a speed boosted Ram, right? Very difficult, especially seeing how Buddha-Spirit just kind of melts due to these recent season nerfs for Lamatra. We are seeing a little bit of a poke fest happening right now. Sire on Buddha-Scooter all taking pot shots, trying to see how much damage they can get off, see if they can get a pick in these early fight.
They really need to get this Symmetra. This is being very annoying for the rest of the whole team. Unfortunately, on using all his abilities.
What a teleporter.
I mean, it's helped mess up the game a little bit, but unfortunately, that was not what he was playing at all. Buddha just running forward. He has to hold that block a lot more. He needs to play with more fear as a tank player, especially into this high damage. Zen can just ruin a tank's day. It is definitely one healer I do not enjoy having fight against just because you do so much damage. And then, oh, but luckily the train stubs come out. Rich's Oxide does fall. They do have the Xander rush, but unfortunately, Kill Switch just focuses that ult onto Buddha-Scooter. I mean, you get a little bit of cap there, but I don't know if it'll be enough. On maybe able to get out. No, unfortunately, they do know how to chase that. And unfortunately, he did not have any abilities. You're going to have Miami's going to have to do a little bit of switching, and they do that. Nitrous Oxide onto the Zen and Alfonso onto the Bab. They're going to try mirroring.
Yeah. We do see Miami keep with their DPS, especially we're seeing a Dragon Blade and Overclock coming soon, right? But that might be a bit difficult to use with Genetics, Wall, and All-Stars High Noon that just came up. We'll see how Miami does on this comp. I haven't really seen them play Sigma that often. So it might be enough for Far Cry, but they do have the practice on it. We do see Symmetra's Wall come out in response to Sire's Overclock, but that's unfortunately enough to shut down Sire for this. Like the last fight, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really has one more big fight here with Smalls. On is playing very defensively. He does get All-Star in the comeback. That will be a little bit good because they do have to. It is going to take a while. The blade does go in. He's targeting that BAP. Has to kill that Immor. Misses the second slash, though. That's very unfortunate. And unfortunately, Rego Moores does kill Nitrous Oxide. A lot of damage for Jordyn Tech is on. But now the window is up. And it's going to do so much damage. Just like that, Buddha goes down. They do get the second tick, so they may have another try here. But they're going to have to regroup and recontest very quickly. That is why On went on to Venture, such a good contestant character. They're going to have to try pretty much a Hail Mary play to get this point.
Yeah. We do see a few ults coming in for both Jordyn Tech and Miami for this last fight. But I do think Jordyn Tech does have the advantage just because of how much positioning they're able to get. Or so much advantageous positioning they're able to get with Symmetra Teleporter and ooh! We do see Transcendence coming out for both teams and Killswitch using the Graphitic Flux a little bit early. On gets an All-Star, and while Rigo gets Alfonso, we do see Symmetra go down, On go down, Buddha Scooter go down. That's it for Miami for this second map.
Yeah, Miami loses to Jordyn Tech. Jordyn Tech going 1-0 now for the first stage of the Swiss bracket for the QCC land. Miami will be going 0-1. We do have another match later at 7 today, so they will be able to probably do a little bit of a comeback, get to 1-1, be on a better start. However, honestly, Miami played what they were good at, but Jordyn Tech kind of forced their hand a lot, and I will say, a lot of times it did seem like they were just kind of pushed into a wall, and it looked like they were winning a fight, especially that last fight there. They had 2 picks, and then luckily, I will say a lot of positioning there from Georgia Tech did help them out a lot. Going around the left side, the Zen going behind the rest of the team, they got caught into a pincer. No one really looked at the Zen that kept shooting the Sigma or the Baptiste, and the Zen was just throwing pot shots, getting 2 kills, and the Sigma with the Discord Orb managed to get both Pooter and Nitrous Oxide there at the end. And I will say, going a little bit of critiquing here of Miami's gameplay, a lot of times there, the Sojourn ult got canceled repeatedly by the Symmetra wall. And also, the Baptiste was not a bad pick from Georgia Tech at all. Helped a lot with bursting down Puda Scooter and causing him to be positions he did not want to be in. And then on another note, I saw a lot of, like, especially there, that last overclock there from Sire, he really has to stop using the dash as a get-in tool. Like, there was so many times where he was overclocking. I'm just like, where's his dash? Like, he's standing in front of the whole team, and he's just caught in this position that you should not really be caught in. And, like, he has no support because he's in front of both Pooter and On is on the right. And unfortunately, he's in front of Baptiste, a Zen, and a Sigma. He exploded multiple times there. You really need to play around the tank, and then you usually just want to use the slide as a get out tool. It's not that, unless you're going on the high ground. That's another issue. If you're going to high ground, all for it, because then you can just hide around a corner of the wall, back up enough to where they can't see you. That's wonderful. Very good play. But just sliding in and going straight head first into the enemy team, not that great of a play. However, he did have a very few good OCs as well. That was very good there from both teams. And his high noons, especially in the first map, were very, very good, I will say. So overall, doing quite well on putting in some work on the Genji. However, it was very hard for him to play into a comp like that, considering how much he had to deal with the Sem always being a little bit of an annoyance to him, especially those little turrets. Him having to always turn around when he was getting so close to getting either the Zen or the Baptiste to 1 HP, and then Pooter not really being able to play the Orisa he wants to do because that Symmetra was putting in so much work on him. The Sig gameplay was very nice. I love seeing the Sig come out because we saw him play it last semester, and I love his Sig. It is so good. However, it was a little bit too late on the mirror switches there. They didn't have enough time to really build up enough of both perks and ults. So unfortunately, Georgia Tech will go 1-0 for the Queen City Clash, and Miami University will go 0-1. We do have another match here in about an hour or so, a little more, a little less, at 9 p.m. for our second round of the qualifiers today. And we do not know the team who we'll be facing yet, but it will be another 0-1 team. So we hope to go 1-1 to start this day. That would be very nice for both Miami and us specifically. That should be some good games.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll make like Sire's non-existing backdash, and we'll go to a break until this next game. Remember, we're starting on Lijiang. Get out your favorite little comps for our favorite control map.
Yep. We will be going on break right now. See you at 9. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are here for game number 2 against Utah Club Red for the QCC qualifying round 2. This is our second series here today. Both teams 0-1. I am Xander Lewis, back in the chair.
I am Elijah, otherwise known as Persuasionz.
And we are here for Lijiang Tower, as we announced in our last round game against University, Georgia Tech. My bad. I already forgot it a little bit. But we did lose, unfortunately, going 0-1. We lost that game 0-2. Georgia Tech, a very good team, probably top 15 in collegiate currently. Very strong. Don't really know anything about this Utah Club Red, but we do have their team information. We will read that out shortly in a little bit. However, we are still in Swiss. We only did learn about this team a little, like about 5-10 minutes ago. It does seem like they're Narissa Genji type comp from what we've seen in the few minutes we got. We already got hero bans. Luckily, we banned Weyoung once again, and Utah banned Hazard, which is a tank not really seen all too much on Lijiang.
No, I was not expecting there to be that kind of ban, but I guess it sounds more like they're just leaning more into having a steady brawl rather than having to deal with any very long range dives, trying to keep things a bit compact for Lijiang, which I think is a very interesting experience to say the least.
Yeah, it seems like both teams know what their strategies are going to this. Miami did kind of have to refocus a little bit, figure out their strategy. They weren't the most confident during the match against Georgia Tech. We will see what they decide to do. It does seem like they're getting a lot more hyped up when I passed by the room earlier. Onto Utah Club Red, though, they did lose to BGSU for their first round, and we did unfortunately lose to them last week as well in a very heart-bending defeat against a team that we usually win against. So this is a little bit of both teams having the same wounds from other teams here today. And you have their team information?
Yes. It seems that there is most likely going to be a Brigitte Juno, a Lucio Kiri, alternating between the two, of course. A Genji, definitely, which would be most likely coming from both sides. And then either going to be a Tracer or a Cassidy. It seems we're actually going to be going to the game soon. It will be a Li Jiang Tower versus the Hazard band and the Wu Yang band.
Yeah, we'll see what both teams decide to do. Probably will be seeing that Orisa coming out from both sides. Maybe Pooter will want to run a Queen, but Orisa is open, and as Utah is an Orisa-based team from the VOD we did see, so they'll probably be seeing the Orisa mirror, and we are going to game right now, and it does seem we are on, I can't tell which point, really, the city, I believe? Yes, we are in the city area for Lijiang, and Pooter Scooter is on the Maga. Maybe a little bit just to spend some time, because I mean, on Bastion is a weird sight to see.
Okay. Had me excited for a second. We're going to see the Rampage in Maga.
Yeah, we do have the Zarya pick coming out from Pooter. Something he has been practicing a lot. We do have the Reaper on. Such a good character currently. It does seem like Utah Club Red is running a Winston comp here. A little bit different from what we saw in the VOD. It does seem this Winston's looking for a little bit of a dive angle. And Lucio falling really low already, below half HP. Reaper using Wraith very early. Sire has a Trace Summer on him, gets knocked out of the fight. However, that Monkey on Reaper is doing a lot. Beautiful hack though, good timing. Managed to pick on off, but Utah Club Red does lose their tank, but it's a 3v4 now, and it does seem Pooter's on the point, kind of alone. Nitrous Oxide 1v1ing the Summer though and winning. Beautiful, and they do get the Lucio as well, but unfortunately Alfonso does get moved off there by Zansha. That's down there, but luckily on his back, and honestly, the Winston, oh, beautiful little peek around the corner there from it, easy, but usually does get capture point.
Unfortunately, having to go back to a reset with Miami, but it looks like they will not be resetting. They'll be re-engaging. They'll be going right back to the fight, seeing if they can knock off the Sombra and the Lucio at the same time while they kite back for their teams. It was going to be a trade between both teams, but it seems like Lucio has got a double kill off of HP, but they are trying to combat this with a Kasuya rush, which unfortunately will not be enough. They will have to do a full reset.
On does get a pick there, and wow, I didn't realize it, but Newsy is so much, already has Blossom while on is still 20% away. Very good counter contest there from Utah Club Red. Both teams using the Katana Rush. That's what we've been seeing a lot in these matches in both the Qualifiers and ESC, is it does seem these Curies want to just match the Katana Rush, just more make an even fight. Unfortunately, that double boob set up Miami for a little bit of backline. Wow, beautiful hunting down there from On, finding Zansha. That's a lot of utility gone, and a big loss, and they'll get an Alfonso and Sire. However, the rest of his team is just gone, and On just says, screw it, let's pop the Blossom. That's very good there, because he saw that it was traded out on the Uzi side. He's like, this is a free Blossom, I don't have to save it. Very good there for Miami. They are a little bit of a deficit for now on the control percentage, but it will be changing here very shortly, and we do have Grab, which can be very big. We have seen a combination of that Grab and High Noon before.
Oh yes, it will be right up to this moment right here. If they can just pop the bubble, and then now they just have to worry about a long push. But they don't even need the High Noon. It's just too much power to have to deal with in that one moment. And now they just have to worry about doing a little bit of cleanup and maybe hunting for a Sombra. Side note, this Sombra has been doing a lot of efforts for the enemy team. I am just always seeing that whenever there's an engagement, they're getting 1-2 picks every single fight. It's been up to the Kyrie to have a knockdown on them, but we'll see how it keeps going for the rest of the game. It's actually now a Sombra flank, but now they ended up feeding off of it. Going to a Lucio beat versus a Sombra pack.
Sire's a little cut out there, kind of getting pushed into a corner. Not a very good positioning. Alfonso, beautiful aim and timing there. And Pooter's just kind of melting through them. He doesn't really have all too much bothering him. He's gotten hacked once, and that's caused him to die. But he's timing these bubbles very well. And Newsy can't really get into a position to burst Pooter down like currently Anna's doing. Too cool cow. Oh, unfortunately, Sire's probably going to get cut out in a bad position. Yeah, he does get picked off, but we do get Grow. That is a very good pick as well. And they don't even touch. They used Primal and didn't even touch. We just took all their attention. That is, like I said in the game against Jordyn Tech, for some reason, Overwatch players and hero shooters in general don't enjoy touching point.
Nope.
Ever.
It's a battle of the minds, and it seems like that heat of the battle in that last second just really gets everyone's attention, and they did a great job right there to just make sure the only thing that mattered was trying to make sure they could even get to the point alive in general. A very strong showing from Miami so far, and it honestly is looking uphill. They just have to make sure that they keep the engagement going, keeping the auto economy going, and most importantly, watch out for that flanking Sombra.
Yeah, the Summer's the only thing doing a lot of work here. Newsy is doing not a bad job on Pooter Scooter. However, the difference in tank gap here, just because they're running such a squishy tank into a Reaper compared to us, is causing a lot of issues for Utah Club Red. And then also Nitrous Oxide, I don't think has really died all that much. And they already have a pick just like that. I love this aggressive angle that Sire's been doing this game. He's been so much more aggressive than we've seen him earlier today, and it's been paying off so well. It's also the fact that he is playing together with Nitrous Oxide at most times and Alfonso. He's playing in such good positioning.
Yes, I really can't wait to see how well they keep this going, because so far this is a very, very strong showing. They're already getting close to having the point. Oh, they got the point captured, and now it's just up to Lily just getting that time up. Keep idling their time and getting their ults, and that's it.
Yeah, look at the ult differential isn't that big right now. However, Cool Cow can't really get that much ult percentage of this because he's getting ulted down so quick. Beautiful pick from Sire. He's doing so well keeping track of the Sombra, which is what you need to do. And beautiful stun there on Newsy, not letting him get out, and that's another reset. I don't know how that counted for a boob considering he landed on the ground, but sure.
We'll take it. We'll take it. I don't think he intended for it, but you know what? They needed to reset anyway. I'm sure he'll take it as a compliment. And now a fight in between both points with the Reaper versus Zarya, but just enough to nickel and dime some ult charge. It will be most likely a really long fight for this middle point to try to capture it while getting both ults going of the High Noon and Kasune versus, well, just Kasune.
Oh, that boop on the Pooter was very nice. I think that just won the point there for Utah Club Red. Just kind of back off, get some ult percentage. Zansha getting pretty much a 2K there was very nice. And unfortunately there, on being a little aggressive, Newsy switching on to the McCree kind of helped there pick off on because he didn't see it all the way at the beginning, and then that stun canceled the Wraith animation, and on this was a sitting duck. He had no bubble on him. Pooter can't he has another one, and they caused him to win that fight. And we do have double Sin Rush coming out again. Big pick, but they already picked Zansha. He was a little too over aggressive there, pushing for the pillar. Didn't really have any healing. On, oh, beautiful Sire. Looking for a little bit of pick on him on the outside of this point, trying to put some pressure onto the McCree. They see the McCree's alone, and they're just rushing him down. They're just trying to get a little bit of control percentage here. Nope, they back off. Beautiful timing there, and a little bit of a misplay. Oh, picture perfect there from Sire on the McCree, hitting the double tap stun. That's what you want to see. He has improved a lot on Cassidy these past few weeks.
You love to see it when everything comes together. It was just a very, very immediate flank where they went from just having one time to just do one thing and then having just a split second to react to it. And so far, well, there's been this Sombra that they just can't really get an engagement to the casting who's knocking up all the supports. They're just always having a response to Utah. And now even with this High Noon and this grab, it just seems like, oh, it was a trade. Just enough for them to get one kill, but it's just too much power against a Pooter versus them. It just seems like if anything, Pooter's just take control of this entire game almost. Honestly, it's been Pooter's game.
That was very good from Miami there. Utah made a few mistakes. The healers going kind of bad positionings. The fact that when Sire was up there on the left while Nitrous Oxide and Alfonso were 1v2ing that Sombra, because they had Red Bull bubbles, they were able to sustain until they got the Sombra and then went back in. That's the beauty of having such a high-speed comp like Curie, Lucio. But then this was a very good there from Zansha, but he was a little bit too aggressive on the next fight and kind of lost it for them. And the one thing I really want to point out is their healers as a whole were very over-aggressive. When they were fighting on that left side there, when Pooter popped that grab, when it switched camera, we saw Sire get a pick on the Curie, who was in front of the Zarya in a position you should never be as Kiri. They got picked off immediately, double headshot, and that was just overall very good mechanics there from all of Miami, really. Like, they played that super well. I look forward to what they're going to do next. I don't know what map they're going to go to because it is loser's pick. Don't know if it's a specific role, because I do believe we pick either any of the other game modes besides control, and then we get a ban for which map we don't want to play on. So we'll see what we decide to do. We will going on a little bit of break here because we don't really have much. That was just an overall Miami landslide victory. There wasn't really much more we can say on that. So we will be going on to a little bit of a break until we get the confirmation of map and hero bans for next point. See you then. And we are back on the push map of Esperanza. This was Utah Club Red's pick, and notoriously is a map we have not actually played so far, I do not believe, this season or previous ESC season either. I don't know about being at LANs, but over online, we have not played this map yet. I do not believe so. It does seem Utah Club Red is going to be running that hazard. They banned last time, because I think they want to do that to be able to play hazard the next two maps. And Booster is on that monkey. We did believe it would be a little bit of a dive hybrid. Utah Club Red is also kind of running a little bit of a dive hybrid. Granted, that McCree is going to be very difficult for Pooter to deal with, and they have to be very careful. That hazard will be all over Sire. We are running the brig, which will be nice for Nitrous, and we do have Nitrous. Oh, beautiful anti. First thing there. Pooter has to get out though. He is falling very low. On his swing in a good position. Out of position there for the Wuyong, but he does get to live because his hazard did come back and deal for him a little bit. We do have semi-control. Very nice anti. Pooter needs to kind of trying to separate this tank from his team. He's doing very good playing a little passively. Oh, that Juno's falling super low. Maybe hit him with a right click or two. He does manage to get out though. On trying to hit a shot, and he does get it. He is going to be in a very poor position here though, because he didn't have dash or reflect, and he's getting two. Pooter Scooter also getting knocked down. They really need to kite back, and wow, insta headshot and the 100 HP from the water orb. They just realized it's just time to die and regroup.
Unfortunate for Miami. They were just pushing it so far, especially with these very, very good Ananades, but it just seems like it was just not enough for that last push as Sombra flanked from behind. Just had too many of them stretched out to do two different areas. But now they get a chance to regroup, and now even time they potentially even contest it before it ends up being passed. But even if they don't, they still have a lot of time. It'll just be a lot of poking from the high ground from Utah, and Monkey is now trying to engage. It will be up to the Ana to help the Brigitte, and the Brigitte to help the Ana, and now they get a free pick off of this Sombra, while the Monkey pins down the Cassidy. Now a DPS difference from the team, stopping them to completely have this engagement at all with any resistance.
I want to point out very good survivability there from Pooter and On, realizing that Alfonso and Nitrous's attention were taken by the Sombra, trying to survive to let them deal with it, and then they get re-engaged. Once the Sombra goes down, it's free pickings. And Pooter up here a little alone, did get stuck. There's a little bit of poor positioning there, but that nade was beautiful. And then the Nano comes in, gets a pick. I don't know if he can get any more though, but he does get that crucial pick. Oh, he does get back up. It looks like he was going to be able to get a pick on the McCree, maybe. Gosh, that healing is so heavy. Good jump there from Sire, getting a little bit of an angle. And they may be able to get this halfway point early here. That was very good timing from Nitrous Oxide, getting that Nano on the Pooter. And beautiful nades as well. Like we always say, Nitrous Oxide on this Ana is so deadly.
Yes, I no complaints at all from these nades. These nades have been on point the entire game. And with Winston acting in tandem with this to just make sure that this never has to be a solo fight, it just seems like it's constantly going to well for Miami. Unfortunately, due to hazards, they might have a chance to have to fight back in a flank. But if anything, maybe they still even get to hold it. They have enough time with this Winston Primal to potentially hold it, but after Wu Yang has released their ult plus a Brigitte, it seems like might have to do a yes, it might have to do it.
Yeah, they're gonna try and reset here. Alfonso trying to fight a little bit. They really need to get this group. Unfortunately, Nitrous Oxide is probably gonna fall here. On needs to back up, not stagger himself. That'd be very bad for Miami. He is gonna play a little bit on this high ground, try to look for this Sombra, who's probably most likely invisible, running around somewhere. And this, honestly, there wasn't much Miami could do there. They played that pretty well. It was just the fact that three of Miami were on the high ground and Pooter pushed up a little bit. He did have the primal, so he was able to. However, he tried going in again and got hacked while he was like about half HP. Beautiful timing there on picks. Oh no. Unfortunate there. That was good healing from Utah Club Red. Being able to keep the healing, allow Lucy to stay alive. And, oh, beautiful anti yet again. Oh my god, Nitrous. These antis have been on point this game, and good timing there on the calls from Pooter and Nitrous in order to dive. Oh, if they can get cool, that'd be a very big pick. Doesn't really have shield. Honestly, I would enjoy if Oh, he does get healed up a little bit. Just barely got out. Very good there from Utah, getting cool out there. If he would have gotten staggered, it would have been very bad for Utah.
Yes, I see why. I can understand why they chose to ban the Reaper, but looking at this, they should have banned the Ana, because the Ana's been doing wonders this game, keeping the team up, and even combined with these Soldrin and the Winston jumps, these have just been constant decimation. And now, including with the Disruptor kill from Soldrin on the Symmetra, now they have a uneven matchup against DPS, and it's just an easy purple, just a clean wipe, and now free progress if anything.
I love the patience here from both Puja Scooter and On, waiting for that nade. We saw On in that little small room right down there by the payload, and he's just waiting for that call from Nitrous, waiting to hear when he hit that nade, and it's beautiful. Oh, that's a big though. Pooter's gonna fall over there. On does get the read pick on Bro, but unfortunately, oh, another pick as well. They may be able to fight this if On can get this next one, and they do get Zancha. Beautiful protection here, saving Nitrous from Cool, managing to get it, and that would have been a very good play there from Utah. They managed to get Pooter down immediately, but unfortunately, all their team was pretty much low already, and Alfonso Nitrous played that together so well that the Cool used pretty much all of his block and didn't push through, because unfortunately, Brig is kind of a good pick into Hazard, just because if they're holding block, just use Inspire perks for people. Very good there, and they do have a lot of ults built up. They do have the Nano. They almost have 5. They're probably going to wait for all 5 of the ults to just bomb rush the site and win, but they already got Bro. This might not be bad. Just rush in here. They do use Primal. This might just be it for Miami. They're just kind of pushing him, pulling this free very well. The High Noon does come out. Doesn't pick him because he does get around that corner just in time. They do almost do. They're going to use Nano Monkey. Very good there. Weingol does come out, but he leaves the rest of his team behind. Rally is out. I think Nitrous Oxide does survive. I don't even know where he went. He went inside the room. Unfortunately, this is the thing with having 5 ults. You just time them back to back to back, and there you go. Miami wins the series very handedly, winning the map handedly as well. That is everything we want to see from Miami. They're on the Genji, doing very good. Scooter listening to his backline, knowing when to dive. He did go a little far a few times, but anytime he did, he had Primal to back it up. And then honestly, Alfonso doing his job perfectly, protecting Nitrous anytime he got dove by the enemy tank. And then Sire, honestly, putting in the work on the OC. He was kind of ignored most of the time because Pooter and On are doing so much work, and that's what you want to see with a team when they have a hit scan. That hit scan should be putting in that extra little work, but just enough to where he's not the main focus, because that's why you won those dive comps like that. Because Pooter and On were doing so much. Sire was able to be on high ground and do his thing. He was barely looked at all.
Yes, he had nothing but free room for 90% of the game. It was if anything, I believe it was a lot of. It doesn't show it in the game, and I wish they would have showed it more. But it was the Ana. I feel like the Ana was just, no matter what, it seemed like every single engagement ended about 5 to 7 seconds faster than it could have originally, and it just kept being a overpowering presence of Miami, where they just never had to worry about doing much besides engaging with at least 2 people, and then being able to pick off at least one person, leaving them at an advantage to just do an easy next fight.
Yeah, I will say it was probably why the Kiri ban was a thing there, because it allowed them to just put in so much work with the Ana, and it honestly worked in Miami's favor a lot. But luckily, because of that, Miami does go 1-1 in qualifiers, looking much better to get into this land for QCC. And Utah does go to 0-2. They're on the brink of probably not being able to qualify. Miami, though, putting in that work, they did much better this game than they did against Georgia Tech. They looked much more confident, much more sure in their gameplay. However, that will be all for tonight. Tomorrow, we do have another match at 8 against Akron for the ESC. That is the main one we will be doing. That'll be best of 5, unlike these quals. We will be doing 2 more weeks of these quals, though. So every Tuesday, we will be having these matches. We don't know if they're going to be streamed or not. It's back and forth, maybe. But we did stream these once tonight. We will see you tomorrow, though, guaranteed, against Akron at ESC, and we hope to go up even higher in our placing. So we will see you tomorrow night.
Have a good night.